Hi guys, today I have a first impression on a new product that's just come out over here in the UK, and this is the L'Oreal Nude Magique Cushion Foundation, and this is what it looks like. Now in the US they do have a cushion foundation, and that's a L'Oreal True Match Lumi, and I did pick that one up and I do have it in my makeup collection, but I haven't tried it out yet. So this is pretty much just a first impression on any cushion foundation, and the shade that I have is 07 Beige, and this is the darkest but one shade. So if you do have dark skin, you're probably not going to be able to find a foundation that matches your skin tone. All of these shades that I've seen are light to medium skin tones, so they don't really do a very wide variety of these. In the US, when they do have the L'Oreal True Match Cushion Foundation, they do have so many different shades in the range. The only thing that I do have to say about the US one is that they don't have any shades for people that are very, very pale, whereas over here with this one, they have a porcelain shade and also a vanilla shade. So if you are super pale, you'll be able to find a shade to match you in this foundation. So the shade that I have is 07 Beige, and this is the darkest but one shade, and this is pretty light. I tested it on my skin and it pretty much matched my skin perfectly, and when you think that this is the darkest but one, it's quite crazy because anyone who's darker than slightly tanned is not going to be able to find a shade to match them. Now as you can see, I am self-tanned at the moment, but I'm not super dark, so hopefully this is going to match me, but if I get any darker, I'm probably not going to be able to find a shade to match. I purchased this foundation from Boots for £9.99 and it was on introductory offer, but now I believe it's £14.99, which is quite expensive for a drugstore foundation, but if it works, then it's definitely going to be worth the money. So on the website it says, discover liquid foundation revolutionised with Nude Magique Cushion Foundation. Our first cushion drenched in liquid foundation for an ultimate fresh nude finish in a tap. Get ready to customise your coverage with our unique tap-tap applicator, which allows for effortlessly buildable application on the go. And it says, tap a little for a sheer luminous finish or tap a lot for medium buildable coverage. This foundation also contains SPF 29, so you don't have to worry about putting sunscreen on before you put your foundation on, and it has 14.6 grams. So I'm not sure how much that is compared to a normal foundation. They have 30 millilitres, and I'm not sure what it is with the grams. So I'm really excited to try this out because, like I said, I've never tried a cushion foundation out before, and I just can't wait to see what it looks like. So this is what the packaging looks like, and I absolutely love this packaging. It feels really sturdy and it feels like really thick plastic, so you know it's not going to break when you put it in your bag, and also if you're travelling. And I really love the colours of this. I love the purples and also the pinks. It just makes it look really nice. And then when you open it up, you get a mirror right here, which is pretty big, and then you also get the little sponge applicator as well, which I really like. So when you open up the foundation, this is what it looks like, and it just looks really nice and clean, and I think that the colour's going to match me very well. Don't mind my self-tan hands. I did self-tan last time and my hands just got all of the tan because they're very dry, so don't mind them. It's going to match my neck and my face, not my hands. But yeah, this looks like it's going to be a very good colour match. So I've already moisturised and primed my skin, and that's a routine that I do every single time that I do my foundations. So I'm going to apply this to half of my face. I'm going to do one layer where it says you can have a sheer coverage, and then I'm going to do two layers where it says that you can build it up to medium, and we'll see what it looks like. At the moment, I'm not really too bothered with my skin. I don't have a lot of blemishes or a lot of redness. I do have a little bit of discoloration on my cheeks and also my eyes, but I'm not really too bothered about that. So I think this is a good day for me to use this foundation, because even if I do get a sheer coverage, I think it's probably going to look pretty good as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just press the sponge in there like that. So you do get quite a lot of foundation in here, and I'm just going to apply it to this side of my skin, and then I'm not going to apply anything to this side at the moment. So I'm just patting it in. I'm not sure if that's how you do it anyway, but yeah. I don't think I'm too much of a fan of this sponge. It just seems like it's pretty useless to me at the moment, and it's just making a lot of noise, and I don't think that it's really doing anything. So this is what the foundation looks like on this side of my face, and I have to say I do like it. The colour match is pretty good. It is very light compared to my neck, which I actually thought it was going to be a lot darker than my neck. As you can see there, it looks pretty light, but these lights are making it look like it's white, and it's really not. It does have like a warm undertone. The coverage is okay. I feel like this is a very light coverage, so I'm going to go ahead and do another layer, and I'm going to see what it looks like after that. So this is what it looks like with another layer of the foundation on this side, and it is looking a lot better. It isn't covering up my redness or anything like that. It is a pretty good colour match. It doesn't cover up my blemishes. It is buildable though, but I just think this cushion is just useless. I don't see the point of using it for all over the face. I think this is good if you want a touch-up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Real Technique sponge and I'm going to put it on the other side of my face and I'm going to see how it blends out, because I just feel like that's going to be a better way to apply this foundation. I'm not really a fan of the sponge. So I'm just taking my Real Technique sponge. I use this all the time when I apply my foundations. I'm just going to pop this in the cushion, and that is so much better already. I actually much prefer using this sponge. It covers a lot better and it's a lot quicker as well. I don't feel like I'm just smearing foundation around my face. So I've just finished off both sides of my face. This side I used the Real Technique sponge and this side I used the normal sponge that you get in this foundation, and already I can tell that this is so much better with the Real Technique sponge. Literally the coverage is so much better. I used 2 layers on each side and this side looks a little bit uneven. It looks a bit smeary as well. It just doesn't look like it's done very good with the coverage. And then on this side I have a medium coverage and it's very, very even, and it just took half the time to do it. It hardly took any time to put this foundation on this side of my skin with my Real Technique sponge, which is amazing, and then it took ages with the other sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'm going to show you what it looks like afterwards. So I've just finished off my makeup and I have to say I really do like this foundation. Now I thought at first that I was going to really hate it, I wasn't going to get much of a coverage with it, and I thought it was going to be really, really sheer, but I've managed to build it up to medium full coverage. It's covered up all of my blemishes, all of my redness, and you know what, it actually looks really, really good. So I'm going to go and see how it goes throughout the day. I'm going to come back in a couple of hours and let you know how it goes, and the time now is 11:21 and I'll see you in a bit, guys. Bye! Hi guys, so I'm back and it's now 1:45 in the afternoon. So I've had this foundation on for 2.5 hours now, and I feel like this is the best time for me to give a quick little update. So far it looks exactly the same as when I first put it on. The only difference is I do have a little bit that's come off on the tip of my nose, but that's not too bad. The rest of it looks very flawless as well. You can't see my blemishes, you can't see my redness either, and it just looks like I have airbrush skin. Now this colour does match me pretty much perfectly. It does have a warm undertone, but in this video with all of these lights it doesn't look like it matches my neck, but in real life I can promise you it really does, and it's minimised my pores. I don't feel oily, I don't look shiny, it just gives a really nice glow. I do feel really, really hot, but like I said, I'm not sweating at the moment and it hasn't come off in different areas. Normally the first place that it comes off is on my nose and my forehead and my chin, and so far it looks as good as when I first put it on. So I'm going to come back in a couple of hours and give you my final first impression review and let you know what I think about it, and also give you an update. Bye! Hi guys, so I'm back and it's now 7:30 in the evening. So I've had this foundation on for 8 hours now, and I feel like now is the best time for me to give you my final first impression and also my final update. So looking in the mirror, my skin pretty much looks almost exactly the same as when I first put it on. There is a little bit of redness that's coming out on my chin, and also my blemishes around here aren't as covered up as they were earlier on. Also on my nose around here it's starting to look a little bit cakey as well, but my forehead doesn't look too bad. It does look shiny, but it doesn't look super oily or anything like that. It just looks like it has a really nice glow to it. And yeah, I am liking this foundation. I think it's done really well for 8 hours being on the skin, because I didn't think that it was going to last even longer than 2 hours. I literally just thought that it was going to go really, really bad, because it does say it's got a luminous finish to it, and I thought that that would make me super, super oily. And it has been quite warm here. It is the middle of summer, and yeah, it's done pretty well on my oils. So looking at my skin, I don't have any areas where it's just blotchy and where it's come off. There's only the section on my chin right here, and also a couple of blemishes around here where it has come off. And my contour, my highlight and my blush are all still on. It looks pretty good and it looks really wearable at the moment. The only thing that I do have to say is that my nose looks like it could do with a little bit of more foundation on it, just to touch up a little bit. But other than that, this looks really wearable, and I would happily go out wearing this foundation like this, because it just looks like it's done really, really well, and I'm really impressed with this. The good thing about this is that it has no promises either. It doesn't tell you that it's going to stay on for a certain amount of time, and it doesn't say that it's going to do certain things to your skin either. I love the fact that it has SPF in it, because it makes my skin feel like it's getting a little bit better when I'm going out in the sun, because a lot of the time there are some foundations I do wear that don't have SPF in them, and I'm a little bit worried that my skin's just going to start to look a little bit horrible during the day. And also I'm really worried of sunburn as well, because I am super fair and my skin burns like crazy. So when I first put it on, I did actually like it. I was a little bit worried because I thought that the colour was going to look a little bit different, but it has has matched me really well. I mean, you can't tell because of the studio lights, but in real life it literally matches almost perfectly to my neck, which is really good. It does oxidize a little bit, so if you do want to get this foundation and you put it on your skin and you want to see what it looks like, I'd say wait for about half an hour and see how it looks on your skin after then, and then that will be your perfect colour of foundation. I really like the coverage of this as well. You can have a very sheer coverage and you can also build it up so it's medium to full, and I was shocked when I looked at my foundation and noticed that it was almost full coverage. It doesn't feel very heavy on the skin either. It did feel like that my skin could breathe, and I just think that it looks really good, and even after 8 hours, even though it's come off on certain areas, it does still look pretty good, and I would happily wear this out. Also, I didn't use a pore filler with this. Normally I use my Benefit Professional, and I didn't even need to use that with this foundation. This did really well on it, and I really do like this foundation. So there are only two cons that I have about this foundation. The first one is that the colour range is really bad. You only have 7 different shades that you can choose from, and they're all very pale to a light tan. So if you're any darker than a light tan, you're probably not going to be able to find a foundation that matches you. And when you think that this is the darkest but one shade, and I'm not very dark at all, I'm a 1W2 in Estee Lauder, then that's not very dark, and I don't think that that's very good for people who do have darker skin that want to get this foundation. But if you do have darker skin, I do recommend that you get the American version, which is the True Match Lumi foundation. That one is a really good one because there are loads of ones for if you have darker skin. And the only other con that I have is the sponge of this. I'm not really a fan. I just think this is very useless, and it's probably good if you do use it to touch up on the go, but if you are doing the whole of your face, it's going to take a very long time to do, and it gives you a very sheer coverage. So I definitely recommend that you use a beauty sponge, either the Real Techniques one or a beauty blender, and you'll get a very good coverage and it will look really flawless as well. So overall, I absolutely love this foundation, and I would definitely recommend it to all you guys out there. If you have oily skin, combination skin or dry skin, I think you're going to like this. This doesn't cake up or anything like that. It just looks absolutely gorgeous on the skin. So this is my final first impression of the L'Oreal Nude Magique Cushion Foundation. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and make sure that you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye! And the bag that I'm showing you today is this one here, and this is my Michael Kors Saffiano tote. I don't know if it's the large one or the medium one, but I feel like it's the perfect colour. It's the perfect size and the perfect style, and I just love it. As soon as I saw it in the Michael Kors shop, I was like, I have to have this